All right. What is your name?
I am Daja Timmerman. Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Oh, right on. Nice to see you.
What pronouns do you use or accept, Daja?
I use she, her, hers, and if you don't know me, they, them is fine.
Okay. How long have you used she, her, hers pronouns?
Since March 2015, after my naming ceremony.
Okay. Can you elaborate on your journey to starting to use those pronouns? And
Sure.
if you can you also include when you did use they, them, and how that change might have happened?
Sure. Um, for me, I was working in a warehouse for about 12 years out in Chaska, and I had to be male. I couldn't find a way out. It was very cisgender straight world, very right wing world. They said it was family oriented and things like that. So there was it was like a prison. So eventually I got laid off from that job, and I found myself in a situation where I could go back to school, and I wanted to be in interior design. So I went to Normandale Community College, and that's where I started wearing skirts. Um, because I'm transgender, I've always had that desire, and I just never had the opportunity that was safe enough to express it. But I thought school would be that place. And for about a year, year and a quarter, I went by they, them, because there were male and female restrooms, and there are the handicapped restrooms too, which were all gender, but they weren't very, everywhere. So it was really hard to be called he. So I went by they, them.
You use those pronouns, but now you don't.
Sure.
You're the first person that is that
Oh,
case. So
I'm fairly binary.
okay.
I mean, I accept non-binary status from people who don't know me because I'm kind and I don't want to jump in everybody's face. What you're asking, I think, is gender identity. And pronouns for me had nothing to do with that. It was actually how I acted. My interests were denied. I didn't get to go dancing. I had to play football.
How long have you been using Daja, and what does your name represent to you?
I've been using Daja with the public since March 3rd, 2015, and officially January 4th, 2017. Legally changed that from my birth name to that.
What did that change mean to you? Why did you change your name?
Well, that's my signature, to the world. And honestly, it's also my representation to myself. Um, my name actually reflects the same meaning as my birth name. And that's important for me to honor my parents. Even though I disown my dad, I tried. And the naming ceremony that I held, it was actually led by a lay minister that I know. And it was as official and special as I could make it. And it still didn't really work.
Okay. Would there ever be a time that you would be upset if someone asked you what your pronouns are?
Nowadays, yeah, I wish people would just try a pronoun and see where it goes. I'm certainly not going to get offended if I correct you. I'm going to get offended if I correct you and you keep doing what you were doing.
Because you stated that you did at one point
Mhm.
use or accept they them pronouns,
True.
can you relate or explain when that change happened?
So that change happened when I realized that there wasn't a place for me in society. Um, a few years later now, here in 2017, non binary is getting its place. And I think it's a wonderful place. But back in 2013, I was just a dude in a skirt with a beard just like you have. I didn't have a bathroom. I didn't have anything for me. I was an outcast. So it changed when I decided that my life would be better as a woman, just full on binary woman. So I went towards that and I eventually changed all my clothes. Of course, got rid of my hair and changed my name legally. And it's been a lot better. At least there's a place for me.
In what ways do you express your gender, and in what ways do other people validate your gender?
I express my gender with presentation, um, how I wear or don't wear facial hair, I should say, how I don't wear arm hair most of the time, how I don't wear underarm hair, how I do my hairstyles, what I wear for clothing, my name, my legal gender.
In what ways do other people validate your gender?
Oh, people include me on secrets. I get to use the women's bathroom. They talk about a lot of things in there. Um, let's see what else. They call me by my name. They call me ma'am. They open doors for me. Chivalry kind of things.
Can you give a specific example of a time when someone gendered you correctly or incorrectly and how it made you feel?
Sure. When I was requesting my high school diploma to be changed to my correct name, I wasn't ever misgendered once. It was really nice. It was all on the phone. It was another woman, and she was uncomfortable at first, but she grew comfortable with it, and she was actually really happy for me. I finally got some redemption.
How do you feel your gender identity relates to how society currently understands gender?
I think my gender identity isn't respected. I don't think it has much of a name. I think the names for what my gender is have been eliminated centuries ago. I'm part Seneca. It was in that culture. So what I'm creating isn't new. It's just that I'm demanding that I have it back.
How do you feel race plays into gender identity and acceptance of someone's gender?
Gosh, I have no idea. You know, the things that I've been watching, people of color, trans women, are the ones who are getting murdered. I don't know why.
With the current conversation of transgender people in bathrooms, do you have anything to say, or can you give a specific example of something you have experienced that can make other people think more personally on the issue?
Yeah, back when I was in community college in 2013 and 2015, it was here in the metro. And the thing that happened is that they saw me go from a male looking person and identifying to a genderqueer person with they, them, to in the very, 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 very end, I had a couple weeks at that school of being female presenting. So when I was female presenting, I had gone back to school for some business after I'd been a student there. And it was 2015, it was that year. I actually ran into a tutor, and we talked a lot when I was presenting as a male and gender queer. But as a female in the women's bathroom, ooh, did I get some looks? She seemed kind of freaked out, you know, and I didn't even say hello. I just went to the stall. I didn't make a fuss. But she didn't either. She just walked right out. So I suppose what I'm saying is it takes a lot of courage to cross the gender divide. And, you know, the same goes if you're going to mix the gender divide and be non-binary. But when someone doesn't understand that, they don't get that the ramifications of that are great. It affects your reputation, it follows you around. It's a very huge personal choice. And you choose to act out with fear. It's not very supportive, of course. And I don't know. I totally reject that feeling that people get.
If you had to list 10 things in your life that you think about the most, or that might be the most important to you, 10 being the absolute most important thing, where would your gender identity fit in?
Probably somewhere around 8. Mm-hmm.
Why not 4? Why not 10?
Well, my life is more important, and my wife is more important. I don't know. That's why it's probably around 7 or 8. I suppose you could say that gender identity is a part of my life, and that would make it a 10. But it's just a facet of my life. I also like the mountain bike. You know, how fun is that? You know, how important is that? Is that a 1?
What advice do you have for parents of those who have children who are questioning their gender identity?
I think that's where they need to read some books. There are books out there. There's plenty of websites. There's transroadmap.org. That was a really helpful one for me. There's Transforming Families locally. There's Outfront Minnesota. They could help you along. You need to meet some trans people. Before you make up your mind whether you're going to support your kid or not. You need to figure out what exactly it could be, because there is no exactly, and who knows where your kid is coming from. But they need you, and it's part of your role as a parent. I hope you can accept their identity.
Is there anything else you would like to say to close here?
Oh, sure. There's some things I'd like to say. This is a political juggernaut, and it's been really hard for me, most of my life. I don't really see it getting a lot easier, and I would plead with people out there who don't understand, please read about this. Please meet some trans people. I said that as advice to your kids, but that's really good advice for all of us. Knowledge is power. Also have some compassion. A lot of us trans people are hard workers. We've done a lot of things in life to get by, and we're not inept. But making all these laws against us, it will force us to be inept. Almost like a concentration camp, but not quite. I suppose some of us will figure out how to survive, but it's going to be really hard. A lot of us go out of our way to be honest and, and do what we need to do, like create new legal names and, have the presentation that works for us. I guess I just ask that you have some respect, for all the hard work that we put in. And to the Twin Cities, I'd like to, thank you for being more liberal. But I'd like to remind you that outstate Minnesota is not even half as liberal as us. So you might want to talk to your families out there. Second cousins, third cousins, go as far back as you can. My family is actually quite rural, ignorant, proud, and unwilling to change their opinions about transgender people. I've been trying my whole life. So we may change our minds or we may not. But in the end, I want to remind trans people too, be proud, be strong, but be wise about your decisions as well. Thanks.